discuss a very important topic in maths. It's called absolute value. So it will be very short video actually, because if you look at the number line here, simply put, if I take x here, if I call this position here x, here x is at number 4, so absolute value of x is the distance from 0, and it's always positive. So this one, absolute value of x is equal to 4 here, right? And look, now if we take another one here, let me change the color. If we take like negative 3 here, if we put y here, so absolute value of y is again the distance from 0, that will be 3. So as you see, it is actually the actual distance from 0 that gives us the absolute value. So simply put, here the absolute value is always positive. So I would say, if I take a, absolute value of a is always positive, superior or equal to 0, okay, greater than or equal to 0. So we should know that. So now if we have seen here x is less than 0, if x is less than 0, x is negative, so the absolute value of x will be calculated as minus x, making it always positive. So all absolute values are positive, okay? We should know that. Now, a few properties of the absolute value you should remember always when calculating equations with absolute values, okay? So if we have a product xy, the absolute value of xy is equal to absolute value of x times absolute value of y, okay? So we should know that. And if y is greater not equal to 0, I would say absolute value of x over y is equal to absolute value of x over absolute value of y, okay? Very important. Thank you. And now if we have negative x, value, absolute value of negative x is also the absolute value of x. If you look at the definition here, so if we take minus 2 and 2, they have the same distance from 0, correct? It will be 2 units here, it will be 2 units here. So that is what is this property, okay? Now when one important thing pops up here, if you look at these 2 points here, negative 5 and 4, if we want to calculate their distance, we would say distance is equal to absolute value of the two locations here, okay? So it will be 4 minus 5, okay, is equal to absolute value of 9. That will be 9. If we count the units here, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, so all we have to do is to take the absolute value of the 2 points, okay, the difference here. Solving equations involving absolute values is very simple. You have to respect these principles I'm going to give you now, okay? So if we have an equation of the form of, let's say, absolute value of x is equal to n, if you have this situation, you have two possibilities here, because either it is negative n or is n. Both If we take x with negative n, we get n as a result. If n is also n as a result. So you have two possibilities here, okay? So a lot of equations will be in this format. And there is another one where they say absolute value of the equation is 0, so you just get 0 as x, okay? Whatever the expression is. So that is the first case, that is the second case, okay? And now the third case, trust me, you will see a situation where they are telling you, let me I have seen situations where when they give you absolute value of x is equal to n with n less than 0, I have seen students trying to solve it. That is not matching what we said. We said absolute value is always greater than 0. So if you have this one, this will be no solution, okay? Easy. So in the cases where you are presented with this situation, so don't think about it. When you say absolute value of an expression is nothing, is less than 0, that means something is not good, okay? Don't do it. Let's do some practice here now, okay? Shall we? So let's get this equation, x minus 9, the absolute value of that is equal to 3. So we said either x minus 9 is equal to 3 or x minus 9 is equal to negative 3. So here we get x is equal to 12, okay? Here we get x is equal to 6. Now let's see on the graph here what that means. So if we have the number 9 here, 9 here, unfortunately we didn't go to 12, but if I add here 12 and we have here 6, these two, if you look at the distance from 9, this one is 3. If you look this one from 9, this one is 3. So that's what we mean by these. So these solutions are all good, okay? Let's get another one for practice. So absolute value of 3x minus 4 is equal to 17, okay? So what we can do here is, let me write the 4 correctly here. We have first case is 3x minus 4 is equal to 17, and second case 3x minus 4 is equal to negative 17, and we just solve it. So we get here 3x is equal to 21 and x is equal to 7, correct? And here we get 3x is equal to negative 13 and x is equal to negative 13 over 3 minus 13 thirds. And these are the two solutions. If you try to graph them, this is what you get, okay? Now suppose I gave you something like 3x minus 9 in absolute value yields negative 13. What would you do? I wouldn't solve this one because that is not possible, okay? This is just a no, because an absolute value has to be more greater than 0, so that is not good. There's no solution on that one, okay? I hope we get this. This one is a little trickier, so what I'm going to say is, first one, if we break the absolute value here, we say 6 minus 8x over 5, it can have two values here. It is either 7 plus 3x minus 2, or the absolute value of minus all this value, absolute value of this, or absolute value of minus that. So these are two cases, and the other way around also make two cases, but definitely it is only two cases here because they cancel each other. I hope you understand this, okay? So in each case here, you can see that First, we took the positive value of this expression and we gave it to the value here, this one, okay. And the second, we took this value here and we gave it negative value of inside here. So these are the two situations, and if you solve this, solving is very easy. You can solve it yourself and you can find negative 23 over 31 and 47, and when you plug back in you can see that it is verified. Okay, so that's all I wanted to show you on these, because this is very important. We will use this before we work on the inequalities, and after that we will continue and solve more complex problems involving these absolute values. Thank you for watching.